Learn English fast with these top tips. Hi everyone! Today, I'm going to share my top tips on how to learn English fast and move from an intermediate to an advanced level. We'll delve into the strategies that helped me personally and how you can apply them to your own language learning journey. Let's get started. The power of goal setting. Before we dive into the tips, let's talk about the importance of having a clear goal. Why are you learning English? What do you want to be able to do with the language? Do you dream of studying abroad, communicating confidently with colleagues from different countries, or enjoying English literature and films without subtitles? When I first started seriously learning English, my goal was to study in the UK. This felt like a huge mountain to climb at the time, but having that clear objective fueled my motivation and kept me going even when things got tough. Imagine a scenario where you're learning English just for the sake of it, without a specific aim. You might start strong, but it's easy to lose steam along the way. But when you have that burning desire to achieve something specific, like landing your dream job in an English-speaking country, or confidently giving a presentation in English, it becomes so much easier to stay focused and disciplined. So take some time to really think about your why. Write it down, make it tangible, and let it be the driving force behind your English learning journey. Trust me, having that clear vision will make all the difference. Remember, your goal doesn't have to be something monumental. It could be as simple as being able to have a comfortable conversation with a native speaker, or finally understanding the lyrics of your favorite English songs. The key is to choose a goal that excites you, something that makes you want to jump out of bed every morning and dive into the world of English. Turn your passion into English practice. Now let's talk about a fun and effective way to learn. Finding a topic you're passionate about and exploring it in English. This could be anything from cooking to photography to video games, whatever makes your heart sing. For me, it was productivity and personal development. I was obsessed with learning about time management, goal setting, and maximizing my potential. Naturally, I gravitated towards English resources on these topics, devouring books, articles, and podcasts by productivity gurus. Here's the beauty of it. When you're genuinely interested in something, learning doesn't feel like a chore. It becomes an enjoyable journey of discovery. You're not just memorizing vocabulary and grammar rules, you're absorbing knowledge and expanding your understanding of a subject you love. Plus, when you focus on a specific area of interest, you naturally build up a specialized vocabulary related to that field. This can be incredibly valuable, especially if you're learning English for professional reasons. Let's say you're passionate about photography. You could start following English-speaking photographers on social media, watching their tutorials on YouTube, and reading photography blogs and articles. Not only will you improve your English skills, but you'll also gain valuable insights and knowledge about your favorite hobby. So what are you waiting for? Think about your passions and find ways to incorporate them into your English learning routine. You'll be amazed at how much faster you progress when you're enjoying the process. Prioritize listening for fluency. Now let's move on to a crucial aspect of language learning that often gets overlooked: listening. I cannot emphasize enough how important listening comprehension is, especially if your goal is to speak English fluently. You see, reading and listening are processed differently by our brains. Reading is a more active process where we consciously decode words and sentences. Listening, on the other hand, is more passive and subconscious. We absorb the sounds, rhythms, and intonations of the language without even realizing it. Think about it. How did you learn your native language as a child? Did you start by reading grammar books and memorizing vocabulary lists? Of course not. You learned by listening to the people around you, your parents, siblings, caregivers, and gradually imitating the sounds you heard. The same principle applies to learning a new language. The more you expose yourself to spoken English, the better your brain becomes at processing and understanding it. This, in turn, will make it easier for you to speak English naturally and effortlessly. So if you're serious about improving your English, make listening a priority. In the next few chapters, we'll explore some practical ways to incorporate more listening practice into your daily routine. Let's talk about a common habit that can actually hinder your progress in English word-for-word translation. It's tempting, I know, especially when you encounter an unfamiliar word. You whip out your dictionary or translation app, find the equivalent in your native language, and boom, you think you've got it all figured out. But here's the thing. Languages are not mathematical equations. They're complex systems of meaning, with nuances and subtleties that often get lost in translation. When you translate word for word, you miss out on the context, the idioms, the cultural references that give the language its richness and depth. Instead of immediately reaching for a translation, try to guess the meaning of the word from the surrounding context. What's the overall topic of the sentence or paragraph? What clues can you gather from the words you already understand? Think of it like solving a puzzle. You have some of the pieces and you need to use your deduction skills to figure out the missing ones. It might be challenging at first, but trust me, your brain will thank you for it. By training yourself to think in English, you'll develop a more intuitive understanding of the language, which will ultimately make you a more fluent and confident speaker. Embrace imperfection. Grammar doesn't have to be perfect. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Grammar. It's the aspect of language learning that often strikes fear into the hearts of learners, and for good reason. English grammar, with its seemingly endless rules and exceptions, can feel incredibly daunting. But here's a secret. You don't need to master every single grammar rule to speak English fluently and effectively. In fact, obsessing over perfect grammar can actually hold you back. Think about it. When you're having a conversation in your native language, do you stop to mentally conjugate verbs and analyze sentence structures? Of course not. You simply speak, allowing the words to flow naturally. The same should apply to English. Don't let the fear of making grammatical errors paralyze you into silence. The most important thing is to communicate your message clearly and effectively. Remember, even native English speakers make grammatical mistakes from time to time. It's a natural part of language, so give yourself permission to be imperfect. Embrace the mistakes, learn from them, and keep practicing. Surround yourself with English immersion is key. Let's talk about the power of immersion. You know how they say the best way to learn to swim is to jump right into the water? Well, the same goes for language learning. The more you surround yourself with English, the faster you'll progress. Think of it like this. Every time you hear or read English, you're giving your brain a mini workout. You're exposing it to new vocabulary, grammar patterns, and pronunciation, which helps to reinforce what you've already learned and build new neural connections. The good news is, it's easier than ever to immerse yourself in English, even if you don't live in an English-speaking country. Thanks to the internet, we have a wealth of resources at our fingertips. Listen to English podcasts while you commute. Watch English TV shows and movies with subtitles. Read English books and articles. Follow English-speaking social media accounts. Even change the language settings on your phone and computer to English. The key is to make English a constant presence in your life. Don't limit your learning to specific study sessions. Integrate it into your daily routine and make it a habit. Consistency is key. Make English a daily habit. We've covered a lot of ground today, but let me leave you with one final crucial piece of advice. Consistency is key. Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about making small, steady progress over time, rather than trying to cram everything in at once. The key is to establish a regular study routine and stick to it as much as possible. Even if you can only spare 15 to 20 minutes a day, that's better than nothing. The important thing is to show up consistently and make English a part of your daily life. Think of it like going to the gym. You wouldn't expect to see results if you only went once a month, would you? The same goes for language learning. Regular practice is essential for building and maintaining your skills. Now, I understand that life can get busy, and there will be days when you're short on time or motivation. But even on those days, try to do something, even if it's just for a few minutes. Listen to a short podcast episode while you're cooking dinner, review some flashcards while you're waiting in line, or read a news article before bed. Remember, every little bit counts. The more consistent you are with your English practice, the faster you'll reach your language learning goals. Keep practicing and stay motivated. Thanks for watching. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I love hearing from you guys and seeing how you're progressing on your language learning journeys. If you're looking for more structured English learning resources, check out the amazing courses on Skillshare. They have a fantastic selection of classes on everything from English grammar and vocabulary to business English and conversational skills. Remember, the most important thing is to keep practicing and stay motivated. Learning a language takes time and effort, but the rewards are immeasurable. So keep going, and I'll see you in the next video.